Hey everyone, it's Austin and welcome back to day 124 on my journey to 2000. I'll be playing chess every day until I reach the goal. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join the club on chess.com in the description down below, and let's get into today's game. Alrighty, and into the rapid pool we go. Almost got a game before I could even get that out. Whew, that was close. Alright, we're playing against the 1600 with the white pieces. We're playing the London system. I bet you he's gonna... Oh. Really? Wild. It's been a while since I've played against something quite like this. Y'all, this is the main line. Except I'm doing something a little bit different. Yeah, let's play F4. Let's go for a stonewall type of structure. And let's try to get a big attack. At this point, we can probably castle. Queen F3 is definitely a vibe. Nothing too crazy happening so far, besides me reading my opponent's mind with that little pre-move. Little pre-move never hurt nobody. Okay. The whole purpose of my knight being on this square is to take that knight when it arrives there. But you see, the problem is that if I do, he's going to tick with the pawn. And then when he ticks with the pawn, I don't have a great place for my bishop. So if I go knight takes, I could even, if I play bishop takes here, 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 that's getting interesting. And I think in this position, I'd rather have my light square bishop. So I'm thinking here, here, here. And of course, how are you defending the knight? Don't see a good way for him to defend the knight. Guess you could say that this defends the knight, but that is incredibly passive. I can also consider giving up the dark square bishop. For instance, I'm actually kind of thinking about this move. To play takes, takes. And then I have ideas to lift my rook the rest of the way. And I'm playing a stonewall. And I'm considering moves on the queen side. Oh, Austin. How silly. I don't want him to double my pawns, so this is a logical move. He plays this. I played this. Oops. Got an alarm going off. Sorry about that. Got my cat meowing at me. Sorry about that. Little degenerate. Let's check the YouTube comments while we're waiting for our opponent to play a move. Wow, up to 882 subscribers. That's amazing. Wow. Queen here. Seems pretty natural. Getting another attacker on that square. My knight is sitting pretty right now. And now this gives me the option to recapture this with the queen. Although I'm not sure that I will. I think I kind of like my queen on its current diagonal. You know what's really interesting is me thinking about playing g4, g5. I've seen Amon Hambleton do it in his Stonewall speedrun. But the thing about moves like that is that you need to make absolutely sure that it's going to work before you do it. And quite frankly, I'm not sure that I know how to make sure that it works perfectly before I play it. I mean, straight up. What am I expecting here? I don't know. I honestly don't know, because I feel like he's kind of ran out of moves here. He doesn't have any supernatural continuations. Wow. Dude is playing some heavy-duty chess right now. So the problem with Rook A E1 is if he makes a random move. Queen C7. Takes, 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 takes. What am I going to do? I'm going to sack my queen for this pawn? Of course not. Of course not. So I'm thinking about going here. And then rook lifting. And just leaving his knight where it is. And saying, hey, your knight is stupid. Of course, I could consider g4, g5. But again, I just don't think that I have the cojones to play that move. Perhaps I could consider something a little bit less reckless, like king h1, to think about playing a move like that in the future. I'm setting my king up on the long diagonal that his bishop's on, though. So if I play g4, what does he play? Rook here. No, I really just like this move. This move just makes more sense to me. His knight's not coming forward at all. Did I just blunder? Takes. Here. Takes. 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 He gets... No, I can always just take here. 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 Takes. Bishop takes. And then I just bring the bishop back. Probably my best move. Right? Because if takes here, he's getting a queen and a rook, and I'm just getting a queen for a minor piece. So I definitely have to trade off the light square bishop. Yeah, I actually think that that's the better move for him to play that. I really do. And I don't think I want to trade this bishop anymore. Kind of think I want to come back with it. My knight is getting squeezed. Don't really want to come back. Then he can just play this, honestly. Yeah, I think I need to trade. Have a couple move ideas here. I think this one is the most natural. There's also ideas to blockade the pawn. Man, his light square bishop is so strong right now. Very good. So this is definitely an idea. And then I'm thinking rooks to the middle after that. More of the D and C files is what I mean. If this, obviously this is the only move. I wonder if this would have been a good move instead. Just quick little tactics check. Never hurt nobody. If he goes here, I'm going back. I think F5 is very tempting for him too. But if F5 here, I don't know what he plays after that. But depending on what he plays, I mean, Queen H3 seems very good. From there, threatening the family fork because of the pin. I mean, obviously, I would say I made a mistake. Okay, I like this move. If I go here now. kind of like the look of that. Going here prevents takes. And then, of course, if he goes here, I can keep it pushing. If I go here, and he plays this, takes, and I'm loving that. Here, pushes, takes. Here, I'm trying to think of any possible king here. Now my knight's blockading, which is a much better task for my knight. Like, some people might like the idea that here comes with tempo on the pawn, but he wants to play this move anyway. He just doesn't want my knight to get back into here. I'm not seeing another move that makes sense. I don't want my knight here. I want it here, so that way it can actually still see some squares. Well, actually, does that make sense? Is my knight better here than here? Let's try to figure that out. So from here, it's hitting this and this. So really it has this square, and then from this square, it could potentially get to here. Looking like a whole lot of nothing. From here, it has literally no squares, but it's blockading the pawn. I like the look of this because you can't go king here because I take the pawn. I'm actually threatening the pawn and he needs to like do something about it. And when he does something about it, he's going to be creating more weaknesses, basically. I might end up coming here anyway. Queen here defends the pawn. Queen there also defends the pawn. I still have time to make another move. I'm thinking about f5. To prevent him from playing it. f5 takes here, two things hitting this pawn. f5 push takes here. Defending the pawn. I feel like the testing move here is f5. I have to try to crack open his king side. And if takes here, it's actually getting hit 3 times. I don't know. This is the way that I need to play chess more often. I make a mistake, and I just... Okay. Here, I'm probably going to sack my knight. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, this move is insane. Why didn't I think about this in my calculation? Gotta keep attacking. I've officially sacked a pawn, so it's high time I do something for it. Ugh, gotta stop touching my freaking face, man. Ugh. So, sorry, I'm thinking really hard, that's why I'm not saying anything. G4. Bishop C8. Pawn takes. Pawn takes. Knight takes. I feel like G4 is just the move, dude. G4 here takes. Now swing over, but then he has this, right? But check. King goes here or here. My knight's hanging. And I had played this. No, but I also have this check. And then it's there, and then mate. So he... No, wait. Stop. Here. Takes. No, I would want to take with the knight because this is coming. This has to be the move. I think this is the most resilient. And then after takes. Here. 2 attackers, 2 defenders on this pawn. He can start pushing this pawn, I'm afraid. here. What if I invite this? Takes, takes. Then here. I mean, there's no way. There's no way that that's right. I have to find some sort of board geometry on the dark squares. Definitely. That's an interesting idea. If here, rook h7, pawn takes f5, pawn takes f5, queen takes f5, bishop c8 hitting my queen, queen takes e4. Okay, so this I didn't calculate at all because I just assumed that it's bad. Maybe that was stupid. Yeah, that was stupid of me to assume. Why didn't I even look at this move? I saw it, but why didn't I calculate it thoroughly? So I have to play this, because if I go here, I'm skewered. So, I mean, rook takes. So knight takes here, here, fork, check, here, takes. No, my knight's on the wrong square. Here, skewer. Here, takes, but his rook is hit. I think that's probably the idea. That's probably the idea that I want. If here, I was calculating here, bishop takes. Oh no, there's pawn takes. The only way to maintain the pin. Okay, but do I have tactics? Okay. This move seems pretty lazy in my opinion. He has no mobility in any of his pawns anymore. Thinking about rotating the rook over for some saucy sacrifices. Here, say, random move this. Knight takes, queen takes, bishop, or rook takes. King here. No, that doesn't work because check. That move would come with check. So what I might be trying to look at here is running my king up. Running my king up and then... Sorry, I'm still calculating sacrifices. And then rook over. The reason I say up instead of to the side is because here, this is a check. And that's pretty yucky. Can't push any pawn on the king side. If he goes here, he can push this pawn. In which case, I think I would play this, actually. Okay. I think that's a pretty safe move. If here, 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 I have 2 minutes. Go with the intuition, baby. If here, I actually think this, trying to get in. Let me in. Okay, I like that move. I think now is as good of a time as ever to try to get off of the light square with my queen. Okay, so is it here or is it here? I think it's this. Freaking out. I think I had this move. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, Austin. Yeah, I absolutely had that move. No, I didn't. Alright. Because it was check. Okay, now he's blocking it. But now I have this check, right? Technically, rook takes first is better. Let's go, we're winning. Let's go. Resigns, let's go! Let's go! That game felt amazing because I suck at attacking. Yeah, see, I gave it up. You guys can't see the graph, but he was winning most of that game. Not most of it, but like the late middle game. Alright. Yeah, so this is all, these are all inaccuracies, right? I mean, like, I should just be playing this. I should. And then c5. Yeah, king 8 or queen h3. Trying to go here. Take and checkmate. It's already 0.9 in this position. Keep this in your back pocket. I need to do this next time. But I went for a stone wall type of structure. Knight here was better. But why on earth? Yeah, it's definitely going for some saucy stuff on the H file. Knight f6, defending the h7 square. That's the only move for him. f5. Wild. Knight g5. Wait, yeah, knight g5. But doesn't he just play this? Yeah, just h6. I guess the idea is that we've built a weakness. Okay, it kind of wants this. Maybe to go there. Yeah, so now that's the best move. Okay, so this was an inaccuracy. I thought that I was getting less than him, though. Oh, the knight is trapped and I can get out with the bishop. With tempo. Yeah, this is a great move. I agree. This is a move that absolutely did not get into my mind. I was, you know, thinking this, in which case, obviously, I meant rook takes here. Obviously, you can't take with that rook, because then it's a fork. And obviously, we're losing here. This is what I calculated. So he played d takes here. I considered queen e2 to stay on the diagonal, but what I played ended up working pretty good. Okay, so it just lights a knight f2. Queen h3 was a little bit too fancy. f5, super fancy. This is a miss. Oh, just rook takes. Oh, just rook takes, Austin. Oh, so I played an amazing idea. But then I just didn't see a hanging pawn. Oh, it's too late. It's too late at night for me. Okay, but regardless, we kept the stick on the ice. G4 is just straight up a blunder. Just takes. Okay, I thought I couldn't play this because of this. I mean, he's winning anyway, but it's saying... Okay, I think that this is more practical, gives me more practical chances. It still wants bishop c8 anyway. Then we play rook af1 and just give it up, I guess. You can't take, because then I just take. It's still pinned, and I actually have an exorbitant amount of pressure. f5. And I just have nothing without that knight here. This is a mistake. This is a blunder. He can play this move. Probably because of this. No. What is it? G4. Disconnecting it. But check. And then when you take back, it's check, of course. Okay. So I thought he couldn't push his pawns. He could. This is a miss. I was also considering on this move to play queen h4. This is also a blunder. Or this... Oh, yeah, you can't play g5 because, yeah. That makes sense. So they're both blunders. This is the only move that keeps him -1. Rook g7. Queen e3. Yeah, it's -1 here. So knight takes is actually better, but I find that rook takes is more forcing. Obviously, he has nowhere to move the rook. And his best move is just queen e7. Going for a queen trade. I feel like there's got to be some sort of tactic here. Maybe not. He wants queen g3. Playing with our food. He still can't take. It's still a fork. G7. An interesting way of defending the rook, but it is defended. Takes g7. That's an interesting move. Why queen takes? Why not rook takes? Okay, this forces an exchange, that's why. We're winning an exchange there, I should say. G6 check is still the best move. King G8. Knight E7 check. Queen can't take because it's pinned to the king. King F7. Or sorry. And technically the queen's defended, so we can just take this. Which is nuts. Just absolutely nuts. Here, check. Definitely a bit of a more complicated endgame. I would actually hate to play this endgame with white. I would definitely find a way to throw this away. I mean, like with this backward pawn that's hard to defend because these light squares are dominated. Yeah, I would definitely find a good way to lose this game. D5 check, best move, deflecting the king. Best move is to not take. And then it's just D6. Now the pawn's protected and promoting, perhaps. Trying to promote, at least. Now it's just king E2. Wow, really? Not E3? King E2. King E1 is even better. Okay, I'm done analyzing that. But needless to say, the game may have continued. This was a blunder at the end of the day. The best move for him was this. In which case, yeah, I was going to play queen G5. I was actually probably going to play this. But this just isn't an accuracy. It's way worse. Because you have king H7. Wow, that's a crazy move to find. That's the only move too. The next move is G5. And of course G5 is winning. So king H7 is really the only move. If you go here, what's the best move? Rook takes G5. And this check is coming. Now it wants king H7. Best move. But let's just say, okay, let's just say here. I meant to draw the arrow to the rook, by the way. Oh wow, this is still the winning idea. What on earth? Because of course if you don't take, if you play, I don't know, rook takes G6, then you're deflecting the vision of it, of the queen. Here, this is the only move to block, and this is checkmate. So the tactics were kind of beautiful at the end there. I definitely made more mistakes than I wish that I would have. Like G4 was definitely a bit much. I kind of stand by that knight takes gives me better chances, like practically speaking, without engine play. And then here, wow, is that even, am I even seeing that right? Just here, reinforcing the pin. Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, G4 is a bit overzealous. Such a shame. Oops, sorry. This would have been the best move. And it's still -1 here. Yeah, if I played rook takes there, it's just plus 3.5. H4 is the best move. Oh, G5. But then knight takes, right? Yeah, knight takes F6. Hitting both things. Queen G6. The rook is undefended, so I can't do anything too fancy yet. Add another defender to it, to the knight, and defending the rook now. This move isn't in play yet. Rook C6. And attempts to get it into play. But now it's just... Oh, wow. Knight takes. I mean, it makes sense. Like, we're trying to checkmate here. I'm just a little wuss. And I would go for this, because I would want to trade queens when I'm up material. But of course it makes perfect sense that you'd rather keep the pieces on the board. I mean, look at this naked king. Rook takes, rook takes. I mean, what do you even play here? Rook G6. Hell of a move. But I think this wins a bishop, doesn't it? No, because you can block. Just kind of testing my endgame skills here a little bit. G4. Go here. Go get the pawn. Would be my plan. So it's giving check, but I kind of like where the knight is. So if I played this... Okay, now it's saying it's the best move. Which is kind of confusing. Okay, so there's multiple best moves here, apparently. Just everything's winning. Let's just say here, best move for him is B5. E3 check is wild. I don't know why you would ever play that move. But it's saying it's best. B5 makes more sense. We'll play that. Now, of course, King E3. Bishop D5. Probably just A3 here. Oh, wow. That's bold. He wants to set up on the light square complex with the pawns. I just wouldn't do that. You guys have heard me and Chessbra and me say it a million times. If you're against a bishop in an endgame, just set your pawns on the opposite color. And how do you lose? He has no targets. Bishop is blind as a bat here. And then he's basically just waiting. And the reason, okay, so here's the reason why the engine wanted B3. And I see it now, of course. But there's just not really a way to make progress in this position without doing something like that. Like, I'm not going to go here and give up the knight for the pawn. I personally would not do this and make an outside pass pawn where his king is closer. I mean, I understand that that's probably a good plan, but what I would probably do is what the engine was saying. Go here to go here. So here, A5 is the best move. Knight E5 to prepare this move. King E6. And then here. And then it's kind of like if you're... You need to make a pass pawn. That's how you win an endgame, right? So you need to do it somehow. B takes, B takes. Bishop B7. Move the king and go for check, probably. Or move the knight is what I meant. Knight G4. A4, yeah, just check here, right? Now it wants to be patient. Again, he could have long-term prospects on this pawn. It's on a light square, top engine move a3. So I'm analyzing this game to death. We're 15 minutes into the recording. At this point, we're not even analyzing the game anymore. We're in a random end game, but this is like... What are you doing, bud? My cat has the zoomies. He literally just was hugging a camera bag, rolling around with it, staring at me. If you guys don't have cats, you should get cats. They're hilarious. Closest thing you can get to a crackhead. Bishop c8. Yeah, now d5 check. Being a little bit more patient with it. Obviously, king can't come up if here your pawns are just rolling. So the best move is king d6, and then you're just winning this pawn, and we don't need to analyze anymore in this position. It's pretty elementary. Okay. So, overall takeaways from this game. I had 2 blunders. 1 miss and 1 mistake. 6 inaccuracies. I feel like this is This is what I would expect in a more tactical game. He had 3 mistakes, 2 misses, 1 blunder. The game designation in chess.com is sharp, because it very much was. But, let's say it again to keep it in mind. The correct attacking approach here is to go queen f3. And I know this. I just really like the stonewall positions when they take on e5. So I get a little bit silly here, because after this even this isn't that good, because he can still go knight e4 because of the bishop. Engine's saying it's not the best move, but yeah, I don't know about all that. Engine's giving queen c2 to put more pressure on that knight, trying to trade it off. But now, knight takes d2 as an option. Why wouldn't you take this? Because you blunder a pawn. King h8. It looks like it's more than a pawn, actually. Oops. Yeah, that would be a sick move. Yeah, beautiful move. But anyway, my point was, in these types of positions, let's manufacture a random position. There's a lot of times that people will just leave their pawn, their bishop on c8. A lot of people play this because they're kind of scared. Just manufacturing a random position here again. A lot of times people will go for this kind of nonsense. Okay, I'm doing too much now. Okay. Finally. This type of a position, where the knight wasn't able to come to e4, and I just have, like, crazy stuff going on here. I love this type of position, when you can get it with a stonewall structure. But regardless, the way to do this here, and this is even more important for the reason that we were just talking about, because if you take, you can't come here no more. You're losing a pawn. And it's important that you calculate this properly, because there are times where when this D file opens up, your bishop can be hanging. So here we're just up a pawn. Our bishop sucks, but a pawn is a pawn. Queen d7. Okay, I'm not going to analyze another variation, but you get the point. Following the game continuation. Yeah, we already analyzed that. Yeah, I mean, beautiful. Beautiful. Wonderful idea. And after I take, his best idea is to go g5, holding it together. We already analyzed all that. Analyzed to death, baby. -4 to -2. -2 to -1. -1 to -4. -4 to -1. -1 equal +4. KO. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for sticking with me here about an hour into the recording now. I mentioned it in yesterday's video, and I'm gonna keep mentioning it. What is it? Sunday, December 17th, 12 p.m. Eastern. I'm gonna do a viewer tournament on, well, I'll be streaming it on Twitch. I'm gonna try to figure out how to do it where I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. If you want to participate, make sure you join the club on chess.com. Links in the description as always. Yeah, thank you guys very much for watching, and don't forget, we're trying to hit 1K by the end of the year. We're on track to do it, but can't do it without you. Cheers, guys. See you tomorrow.